Alright, we're here for Future Card Buddyfight episode 26.
Yep, Genma versus Frogman Kimura.
Yep, I'm gonna keep calling Frogman because Genma knows where it's at.
Yeah, he is the Frogman. Alright, so, it starts off with Gao finally realizing that maybe, just maybe, Ruga is Wolf. Maybe,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, they look almost identical to that day, minus the mask.
Yeah, once they saw him again, it should have hit him like, they have the same hair and the same buddy now.
Whatever.
Yeah, so, Genma takes this fight, and then, Ruga's about to fight him when Frogman steps up and says that he wants to fight. And we finally figure out he can actually talk instead of just saying ribbit.
Yep.
And for some reason, no one at the school likes him.
Well, because he looks like a frogman.
Yeah. So then, Ruga threatens him, saying he better not lose.
So he goes out there, freaked out, and then they just kind of start.
Yep. He fights, Frogman fights for Legend World, which we find out is focused on weapons.
Yep, and boy, is that the Achilles heel of this episode today. Continue.
Alright, so, they're about to start fighting, and the fairy starts yelling at him, and he eats it. Like, just grabs it with his tongue and eats it, and she pops out his ear?
Yeah, because you see ears are connected to the mouth, right?
Yeah, he does that a lot. Like, he'll eat cards, and when he sends them to the gauge, they'll pop out through his ear, and even make a loud popping noise.
That can't be good for him.
Yeah, no, it's, like, this guy.
He should see a doctor.
Yeah, he should. This guy is not real. So then, Genma's like, I know this guy, we were friends, we met in the mountains when I was training, and we...
Thought he was a wild beast, which made me want to kill him harder.
Yeah, I thought he was a wild beast. So then, they started fighting each other and became friends through that. They never actually talked to each other. And Frogman never won a single fight. Not one, but he kept on trying anyway. And yeah, he's laying in the water at one point, knocked out, and he just, like, opens his eyes like...
He is the Terminator.
So, fight starts. Genma uses 4 life to, using Divine Dragon Creation and Rise and Fall of Dragon in order to get 4 more gauge and 2 cards. But then he buddy calls Seeger, using his classic roar.
Yep, I was so hoping that they would cut to people in a booth just saying what he's doing for no reason.
I did too, or like the people at the school just saying it, or Parako, or just someone please.
I was wanting it so bad.
You even started doing it over the episode.
Yeah, I did, because damn it, it was cheap, but it was funny.
Yep. So,
oh my God, we'll never get that again, though.
Yeah, so, Zanya and his little bro are going over his deck because Zanya can't handle girls and uses his excuse to get away from Kazane. And Kazane apparently hasn't realized yet that Zanya can't handle her presence. Because she just keeps going near him like, hey, you want a buddy fight? Hey, what you doing? Hey, you want to talk about something?
God, Kazane's a whore.
Kazane is best girl. But, yeah, so they're looking over his deck, and they're like, he always uses the same strategy for everything. And then his little bro says he'd make a great ninja. And that just threw me for a loop, because it's like, he screams at the top of his lung at every single moment he can get.
Hey, I'm a ninja! What do you want to do about it?
I am sneaking quietly! Yeah, so, and also his buddy is a giant flaming dragon with bright yellow bits on top of bright flaming pink. Yeah, it's like, I don't think he'd make a good ninja. So, after that comment, I love how the fairy, like, insults Frogman whenever she can get the chance. Because she even calls him Drool Face at one point.
Yep.
And then we finally see Frogman draw a card, and he does it with his tongue.
Like we mentioned before, and everyone is freaked out by it.
Yep, all the
girls are, except for Kazane. Because I like slime and goo. Well, shoot. 34, do your stuff.
You know it's gonna be great. But, yeah, and then, yeah, apparently, according to Buddyfight, all girls hate slime and goo, except for Kazane, because she is the exception.
I just said that.
I know. Sorry. I just...
Continue.
I'm weird. Anyway, so, bleh. So, Frogman calls for, 2 monsters that are both big enough to hit Seeger. Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, apparently Legend World got some big guys for you.
They are all huge. You get the feeling though that they're gonna do the same thing Dungeon World does, where they're gonna have one archetype that's smaller than the other because.
If you're trying to imply that the killers are gonna be smaller than those guys, I guess it's possible, but
I'm just remembering like the Ice Joker stats. I think he was like 5'3",
He was a 5'3", if I recall, or something like that. Of course, that can change now.
Yeah. Who knows?
Freaking Bladewing Phoenix.
It's supposed to be size 1.
Size 1, 3, 2, something or something like that.
322.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But it's a digression. Anyway, continue.
So, he starts beating Seeger in the face. And then, wait, no. Then, he uses a Dragon Outlaw in order to, kill one of them, even though one of his soul is gone. And, then Seeger just starts wailing on him.
Yep.
And then everyone starts booing Frogman, and Genma's like, people will always fear what they don't understand and think is different, but I will always be friends with you.
Yep. Unlike me, who wants to kill anything I don't want to understand. I don't understand. Since when they first met, he didn't know what he was, so he was planning on killing him in cold blood. I'm just saying. It's like, I don't know which one is the worst of the two evils here.
Yeah, so, Frogman's turn again. And he uses a spell that gives double attack to everyone. That's crazy. So,
I don't even know what to say to that. That's like, dude. Those things better have some small-ass crits or something. I haven't looked to see if we got any information on them yet, dude. But those things better like small crits or something, because otherwise that's not fair.
They all better be like 1 crit, 0 crit.
Yeah, because if they got like even one size 1, dude, with 2 crit, it's all snover if you get all 3 in your hand and they have an empty center.
Yep. So he uses this double attacking turn to kill Seeger, and Genma says, I admire how strong you've become, Spartan!
Spartan!
And he's like, only 2 people have ever made me call Spartan, and they are as bright as the sun. Just like you, Frogman. And the frog's just like,
they're great fighters and as brave as the sun. Just like that one guy who I beat into the ground with like almost no effort at all.
And he even insulted while doing so.
Yep.
And they even mentioned in the episode, the little ninja was just like, I think he's talking about you, bro!
Well, I don't think so. I think there must be some other guy we haven't seen yet.
Some battle off screen.
That's what I like to think, because I remember that fight. Lasagna did not look like he did very well.
There needed to be, like, Moai there, or Doai, that's his name. Doai there going, sir, actually 3 times. That one time with Zanya, you forgot it? Oh, yeah! So anyway, he destroys all his monsters using Spartan, and then, he uses the impact that requires all the monsters to be gone. I love how Paruko says, final phase is where it's at, too!
You do like that? You like that, huh?
I do like that.
Alright, good.
So yeah, he says like, oh, out of his respect, I didn't go easy on you. And Axia also makes a great comment of, your one friend is always
Your
yelling.
friend's always yelling. Yeah, he really gets into it.
Yeah, and then Kazana even admits she wants to be Genma.
And I was really hoping they would use the opportunity to just have her dressed up like Genma, yelling everywhere.
Give her giant red sideburns.
Giant sideburns?
Yeah, just like have her hair, normal hair, but with his sideburns.
Dude, I will love that. They already had her dress up like a ninja earlier. I don't see why they couldn't have had her do that.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
Kazane should just become that character that always dresses up in different costumes.
Why not? Continue.
So yeah, then she says she wants to fight the Frogman, and she calls him like Kem or something. So then Frogman summons Iron Dragon something or other. I only got Iron Dragon. I'm sorry. He kind of pronounces things weird. So then it has Soul Guard, Penetrate, and its power is 7. So far, all the monsters have like power of 7. It's crazy. So then he calls his fairy buddy Sylph. And her skill is that she could go to the drop zone and search for an item. And it's like, but he hasn't used any item. Well, maybe there was some in the gauge.
Yep, just to make sure people are not questioning things.
Yeah, so she goes in there, and while she's in there flying around, Genma's like, well, we have some time to wait. Why don't you form your own Seifukai club, sorry.
Kishwa!
What?
Nothing. It's a joke about 10 years old.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't get it. But, so yeah, he's like, we have strong friendships, and we fight for justice and glory, and we train to buddy fight, and I'd be honored if you joined us. Wait, no, I demand it that you form your own Seifukai.
God damn it.
So then,
the show would be a lot more interesting if they were just swearing all the time, just at random, just to showcase how into it they are.
That would be funny. And then we start getting into something weird. The president of the Sengoku Academy's face starts glitching out a little bit. It's
he looks
weird.
deranged half the time. Like, he looks like he got bit by something bad. He's got rabies.
Or someone
Minus
took an iron to his face.
I don't know what the hell is going up with that.
I remember at one point his hair lost some of the color in it too. It was just, something went wrong with him.
No one cared to... He was barely in it too. You think he'd be easy to take care of. But no, they just forgot, or they just did not care about him. He looked so psychotic.
So yeah, it turns out that he put in a card into Frogman's deck that was it's bad. It's a hate card.
A hate card.
Yeah,
so stupid.
He put in this item that instantly kills a dragon when it's used. It looked like it had no equip costs. It was a 3/2, so 3 power, 2 crit. Its skill was anytime it goes against someone who has the trait of dragon in them. So I'm guessing that means attribute. It destroys them automatically, and then it also has equip change, which we are guessing just means that you can just switch out items and you don't lose it. Which would be nice. So, he equips this, weapon, thank you, sorry, this weapon, and, he decides that winning is more important than friendship. He became Charlie Sheen!
Oh god, he's trying to winning. He's Charlie Sheen, watch out, he's got tiger's blood in his deck. Oh my god, this is like how that's the only thing you could think to say. Winning!
The sword is called like a dragon slaying sword Balmug or something.
Balmug. That's what I'm calling it.
So, he uses the fairy and the penetrating dragon to link attack into Seeger, destroy one of its soul, and then he uses the sword to just
kill it off.
I just love the way it fell. It was just like that is a dead dragon. Sorry. So then we get into the only really big problem of the episode.
Yeah, dude, they been doing good up to this point, and then they couldn't let the hate card thing go.
Yeah, they say that teching one card into your deck will always make you lose because it'll mess up your strategy. As we proceed to watch Frogman win.
Watch the guy who teched in a card that wasn't supposed to be in there. If we didn't establish that, but I think we did. It was slipped in there by the president of this school. He wins. We're using that card. Like literally, they put that in just as the guy who did it wins.
Yeah, it's so funny too because they're like, "Oh, he's gonna pull out Tempest and win this." No,
I think what I was trying to say is if he only had one more gauge, he could bring out Tempest to do it. But he didn't have the one more gauge to do so because he only had 2 or something like that. I forget.
Yeah.
But I remember guessing if only had one more gauge. And I think that's what he was talking about. But, no. The problem was definitely the weapon. Because then they would not shut up about it.
And whenever there's a big problem with the show, they always take 3 or more minutes just to really pound it into our face that they think this is a good idea.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot, and I just figured I should bring that up. Like, remember when Dracula was being used by Noboru? They devoted an episode to him using that and why it's okay for him to use it.
Yeah, this
even
one
though
card,
it's canonically bad.
Yeah, this. They give so much hate to this frogman. Like everyone is mad at him. Even Ruruga is mad at him for using this card. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a hate card. It's used specifically to screw over one person." It's like he's not screwing over one person.
I think you're a little bit jumbled up there, Em.
Sorry.
We weren't talking about that yet.
Yeah, it's like they say like.
All right, we'll get into the topic now, dude. She's talking about how the show itself treats this as such a sin against God that they would have the balls to. This person would have the balls to use a card specifically to take out another guy. When Lasagna did it, he was an underdog trying to take out a really big guy, and even though he lost, it was taken in light that he had to do it or he would not stand a chance.
Yeah. He
had right knowledge and knew that this would be important. And yes, I know in the episode that they do allude that he did do it, but now it's a bad thing. Before, no one said anything.
Yeah, no one gave Zanya a ton of shit for it.
Yeah, because he lost.
And it's like, and when Noboru did it, he put in Dracula. No one gave him a ton of shit. It's like the president tried to.
He didn't take it in to get an advantage against the president, though. Yeah. He took it in to prove that he could use the card, even though it's crappy.
Yeah, it's just
there's a difference.
Yeah,
that's why I said you're jumbled out of sorts because these are two different things.
You're right. It's also like because they made it sound so bad just to even the idea of teching in a card.
For Osmode's story they meant yes, that is a good comparison, but.
For everyone else,
there's a different problem altogether. Because for Noboru, taking in the random cards, dude, is according to Baku, the only way to do it. Making plans and whatever is just for chumps. But now it's, if you tech in one of cards, it's a bad thing, and it will cost you a game as we proceed to see someone win doing it.
Baku has said this like 3 times too, because also it was like with the Sunshine Impact, it was like, oh, if I tech in this one card, will it hurt my deck? Nah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck Azodai is talking about. Like, we have seen nothing but proof that teching in cards in this show is not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. At the very least, it won't harm you for doing it.
And it's like, they're like, oh, this card is good against, like, it's here just to
it's only here to screw over dragons. It was probably put in there specifically because he was going to have to fight Genma to use it. Otherwise, who would he use it on? Oh, gee, I don't know. How about that guy whose whole deck is made of dragons? That guy who beat the world's best player. His respective classes' best players. His school's respective best players. His whole academy. Junior high and high school level stuff we were talking about here.
Beat all of them.
Yeah, maybe it was meant to screw him, but no, just this one card, right? Because that's the only dragon in this game. We got armored dragons, dragon knights, dual dragons, wild dragons, dragon lords. Am I missing any?
Dungeon World has dragons.
They have a dragon.
Dragon knights.
I said dragon knights.
Okay, sorry.
We're going to get, what are they called? Those darkness dragons.
Yep. And then there's also the Legend World dragons.
It's making such a freaking crime against nature that he's using this card that has no gauge cost and has the same stats, if I recall, as Drago Fearless, a card that Tasku, the former best player in the world, uses as, I think, his only weapon before he got Drago Brave from Gao. Mm-hmm. Only has the additional effects of auto kills dragons, which are one of the most common enemies you'll find in Buddyfight, and has a thing called item change, which I assume to mean that you can switch the item around. And even if you didn't, he has a card in his deck, his own buddy in fact, that lets him search out cards around items from his drop zone, so he can just get a different one if he throws them down there. I.e., why wouldn't he have this card in his deck? Why are they giving him such crap that it's such a hate card when it was useful against almost half the conceivable decks in the game? That is the only real problem with this episode.
Another thing, they give him a bunch of crap for using a card that destroys only dragons, when Dungeon World has a card that does almost the exact same thing. In
fairness, no one's used it.
Yeah.
That's why I keep telling you not to bring it up.
I know,
because no one's used it before.
It's just, it gets to me that it's like, oh, because it destroys dragons, it's so bad.
Dude, that's what my whole rant was about, Em.
I know, it's just...
Because it's kind of a bigger problem. Either Bushiroad thinks that it's a funny joke to make these cards and say, don't use them.
You know, we're selling them, but don't use them.
Or Zebek is saying it, and Bushiroad's not looking at the script and saying, don't say this about our stuff. I assume that since it's uploaded on Bushiroad's, Buddyfight channel, they see the script. So I think Bushiroad's messing with us on purpose. People wonder why I think Bushiroad sometimes has problems with marketing their game. This is why. Because they're saying don't use these cards. They're having it like the freaking bro was crying because he used the card. Dude, he was so upset with using it. He dropped the card down and just collapsed in just such despair as Genma floated away because he could not stand to be there anymore because he lost to such a quote-unquote cheap tactic. And I'm like, dude, are you telling us we shouldn't use this card or not? Freaking, why would anyone want to use this card if they like the show, seeing what it does?
Like, imagine a kid. Kids usually, like, when it comes to the anime, they want to idolize the anime. Like, everyone wants to be Goku, everyone wants to be Yugi, everyone wants to be Aichi when they're a little
I don't
kid.
want to be Aichi.
Okay.
No one wants to be Aichi. He's a pussy.
Alright, well, little kid, though. Little kid idolizes the main character of the show.
Right.
Do you think he's going to want to use this card?
Well, he'll not want to use it now. I mean, Jesus, they made it look like it was a hate crime.
If you use this card, you're a Judas and deserve to be burned.
No, they call it hate card so much, it makes me think they're trying to say, if you use this card, you may as well go hang someone right now, is what they're trying to relate it to. And I'm like, why would you do that, Bushiroad? Why would you do that? Well, anyway, the episode that Ruga saying, hey, I like winning and winning is important, but to throw this card in here, that's a crime. Shut up, Ruga. I'm not even going to finish your quote, because that's dumb.
Yeah, even the president just kind of is like staring at people like, ah!
Because he knows he's surrounded by idiots.
This is why his face is so messed up. He's just contorted in rage.
But anyway, that's the episode. Next time, more Frogman fights
Kazane.
Yep, Kazane.
And they already spoil it a bit, saying that he goes easy on her.
Easy on her. She's mad. We see them shaking the hands, and obviously, if Kazane loses, they lose because 3v2. I don't know how their little setup is going because I don't know what the hell this tournament's doing, honestly. Because Ruga was going to go again, and then Frogman came in,
and now Frogman wants to go
and now
again.
He's going again. Is it just like a you stay in until you lose sort of thing? I guess that's how it is. I don't know. I have no idea. Whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is, overall, I like the episode.
It could have been a great episode, except for that last thing.
It's just, yeah, that last part had so many problems because they're doing this thing where they're trying to retch emotions out of you, but they're doing it over such trivial things.
And they already had it set up where they could have done this the exact correct way. They didn't have to make it seem like what he did, like the whole entire card thing was the bad part. It didn't have to be based on
the card at all.
It could have just been, he already chose winning over Genma's friendship. He could have just refused Genma's proposition and beat him using the card and not focus on the card. Just say, oh, how mean. He destroyed his friendship, and then he regrets it because
no,
he sees
what
how...
you do is you give him an ultimatum. He talks about this stuff. Well, meanwhile, you have like the president or something saying that if you do this or if you lose this, you are out of the Big Five or whatever they're called.
Yeah, the Demon Lords or whatever.
Yeah, you're just out, and you will never be allowed to back in. And he has to take a decision between trying to make a Seifukai without, having a big position in the school, or just to keep his position and be a big man on campus. And that way, when it'll be more heart-wrenching, because that means he chose his position over a friendship he made with a guy that he at first thought he would never actually make a friendship with. That's good storytelling.
And you know what would have made it more heart-wrenching? Everyone at the school hates him. You think that if he won this fight and started making the Seifukai, maybe he thought, like, hey, I'd be able to make friends. I'd actually be accepted. I just have to hurt Genma for it. It's like, that would be heart-wrenching. That, oh, hey, he finally, everyone respects him, but he lost a true friendship.
But no, he used the card that is for his world, and I'm guessing by the time we get it, will be one of maybe 3, 4... items available, which he probably want to use 2 of each anyway if the thing works the way I think it does.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you didn't, it's a straight up okay card. Like, I'm the first to admit I like Drago Fearless just because it doesn't cost any gauge, but it does give you the ability to do damage.
It's just Drago Fearless with another
And
effect.
only this one has the ability to do something to dragons. And this item change thing. I know I keep getting on this, it's just, it baffles me why they Bushiroad would defame their own cards so much. They did it with Dracula, they did it with this. Like, seriously, I don't know what the heck. But
it was very distasteful.
Yeah, it could have been handled a lot better, and they decided, we should take this time to show card hate.
Because they were setting it up to make it look like that's what it was going to be, was that Frogman chose his position over Genma. Which
especially because everyone else at the school seems to hate him. Him having this term, his title as Demon Lord thing is probably the only thing that keeps people off his back.
Mm-hmm.
More than they already are. Dude, that would have been a great thing. But nope, he uses a card. That's what it is. That's what makes Genma decide to fly back to heaven because he can't deal with his world anymore.
Yeah.
But still a okay episode overall. It started off fine. It had its heart in the right place. It just really has to stop trying to use these cards as
morals.
He's got to stop using these cards as morals. We don't need them to do this.
That's why you have characters.
Yep, you have characters here so you don't have to make your cards do the talking for you.
That maybe they should just stop trying to pound morals into our face.
Yeah, they could just stop pounding morals into us to begin with. It's like, I understand this is for younger kids, but seriously, these morals are crappy anyway. May as well just not make them have morals.
Who could
just
forget
make it
such classics as we don't need superheroes?
Saving people for the sake of saving people is garbage.
Firemen aren't important.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, it was okay. I'm not even all that mad. It's a really ranty subject because it doesn't make sense why they would give such hate to their card that they made.
Yeah, this one isn't rage-inducing, it's just baffling.
Yeah, it's like, this rant is strictly baffling based. Because I still don't understand. Like, I could get it with Dracula. They're saying that it's not a great card, dude, but it has its place.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were saying with it. And he used it to win because it was a card he got off of basically sin. And he wanted to redeem it himself by using that card to beat the very person that corrupted him.
Mm-hmm.
So it had a purpose. This one is it's a sword that he probably has in his deck already, or I should say he doesn't, but he should have in his deck, since apparently Legend World is item-based.
Yep. Even though we only saw one item.
Well, I assume since it says item change, we're going to see others.
Mm-hmm. I bet we'll see that next episode.
But, shoot. I don't know. I guess that's everything. Let's see here. Guess we gotta get ourselves ready for some Booster 3-age.
Yep. Sadly, couldn't get it yesterday.
Uh-huh. But because 4th of July means, I guess it means hobby stores don't want to be open. And that's just one more reason why Bushiroad should consider putting this stuff in places like Target and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Because no one could get it.
And at least no one in our area.
Yeah.
But that's fine. We'll get it in a few minutes here, and maybe we'll have something to say. I really don't know what else to say other than, I guess, Buddyfight and maybe the occasional video. Stop it, Em.
Sorry.
Buddyfight and the occasional video with deck construction on budgets. Maybe a couple matches if we get chances to. Maybe talking about product will probably be all we get to do for probably next few months, because it's gonna be a busy summer.
Mm-hmm.
You got a job coming up. We're working on a cartoon, and I'm attempting anyway to get a comic started up. So it's gonna be pretty busy.
Easy busy.
So we'll still at least be getting Buddyfight up every week, because if nothing else, there's always something to talk about with it. And we'll still try to get some budget deck profiles built whenever we can.
There's some small news regarding spoilers of Booster 4 and Trial Deck 6. Booster 4, we already talked about Legend World, Darkness Dragon World, and Dragon World seem to be the 3 worlds that are going to be in it. We got a spoiler picture of Darkness Seeger, it looked like, and Trial Deck 6 will also be based on Darkness Dragon World.
Yep, which is reminding me of, what was that archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh? It was, I can't remember. But long story short, it had a bunch of dual terminal era cards that were made dark and evil and corrupted and stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's reminding me kind of like that, and I'm hoping it's something like that. I miss the dual terminal story crap. Well, till next time, everybody.
See you then!